Hey everyone, welcome to the video. My name's Steve, and if you're new to this channel, these videos are all about digging deeper on the cost of ownership. Currently that is my Porsche 992 Carrera 2, but in today's video we're going to take a look at the new 992 GTS and would I make the upgrade. So if you're new to this channel, as of this video I am now at 14 months ownership on my C2. I bought the car new, now at the 14-month point, and over that time frame I've been sharing my experience with the car, looking at the costs and also taking a look at where I might go afterwards and whether I would just upgrade to a higher 992 model. If you have seen the previous videos, you'll know that I've taken a look at whether I could jump from a C2 to a turbo based on my investment that I made, and those videos are back on the channel if you want to take a look at them. I've also taken a look to see how much I can remap the C2 to get a closer PS or horsepower figure to those of the turbo models or possibly just the S, and see how far I can go without spending the money on jumping up a model. Now that I'm filming this particular video, the 992 GTS model that was missing from the range has officially hit the web configurator, and I've digested the information on it and the standard features to see just where it sits in the range and what you're getting for the value on that car. And I've taken a look at whether I think I would do the upgrade or not, and I'll address that at the very end. So my first comparison here is going to be alongside my C2 and an S to just see where it sits as a value and what the figures actually are in the range. If you haven't seen anything about this car yet and this is your first interaction, I'll try and cover as much detail as I can. So looking at those three cars side by side on the screen there, my C2 is on the right hand side at the bottom of the list, and it actually comes in at 385 PS. You can see that the PS on the GTS sits 95 above my standard C2, and in the middle there you've got the 450 on the S. So that's, from my thoughts, a little bit of a disappointing jump from an S to a GTS. It's only 30 PS, so from my car to that it is a little bit of a jump, but from the S to a GTS it's not really that much. You can see the three values that are sitting there and it looks like a fairly incremental jump between the three models. But before we take a look at what you actually get for the value from an S to a GTS, let's take a look and see where it sits compared to the 992 Turbo as well. So just for comparison's sake, you can see there that the 992 Turbo base model has 100 PS over the GTS. It comes with a host of other features on that car which also accommodates for the £30,000 extra on the price tag. I'm not going to go into all that, I just wanted to show you the differences, but we'll go back to the previous slide and I'll show you what the differences are when it comes to standard features on the S to the GTS. So as you can see, I'm comparing the PDKs as usual side by side on these because you cannot get the manual on the C2, so for comparison's sake I'm putting them all on PDK. So you can see even with the sports chrono between the S and the GTS that there's not a great difference between that 0 to 62 speed. There's also not a big difference in the mile per hour. So the question is, what are you actually getting for £11,500 other than what you can see on that side-by-side performance comparison? Well, I have boiled the features list down on the GTS to show what the differences are based on standard features, and I'll show you to them now on a slide. So taking a look at this first slide, you can see most of this list is actually a cosmetic thing, and quite a few of these items on the bullet points are actually available as a cost extra that I could have added to my C2 new if I'd wanted to pay the extra money for it. When it comes down to that engine, you are squeezing 30 more PS out there with a little bit more torque. You're coming in there also with that minus 10 PASM. You can actually go through the configurator and turn that off if you want to, but it doesn't save you any money. Packaging the chrono and the exhaust on there. That brake system is actually an upgrade that's specific to the model. I can't see an upgrade for it in the list. The biggest upgrade change you can make is the jump up to ceramic, so this is purely based on the GTS model. When it comes to the wheels, you've got that one set of turbo S ones with the center locking. There's actually three options available on the configurator. None of them are a cost extra. They're all free, so you can choose any of the three that you want without adding to the cost. And then you're getting the extra PDLS Plus system on there as well. So that's the outside and the performance extras that are coming in. If we take a quick look at the interior slide, what you're basically pulling in there is a race text and leather mix interior. You are getting the four-way sport seats as a standard thing, getting the extra GT wheel on there as well, which you can also take back to just the leather instead of including the race tech, and you're getting the GTS logos added on as part of that spec because it is the GTS model. An added thing that I've noticed that isn't part of this, but you can add it onto the entire range now if you've got the sports chrono, is the new Porsche design Carrera watch face. I think that new Porsche design Carrera clock face is a nice addition. They're going to get another £700 plus off you to add it on, but if you don't like the standard stopwatch, then you can put that on there and have it sitting on the dash instead. So going back to the question I raised earlier, is this GTS worth the extra £11,500 over the S when you only get 30 PS more. So what I've done is I've taken the Carrera S in the configurator, the standard car, and I've added all the cost extra features that have been applied to the GTS to see just where that value comes to when you add them all on an S. So we take a quick look at just the outside of the standard GTS. You'll see that we've got that sports design package on there and we've got some upgraded wheels. Looking around the back, we've also got the clear lenses, including the sports exhaust. Within the interior, you can see that it's got the sports chrono featured there. We do have a split interior with race tech and leather making up part of the features. So we bring up that final summary. You can see that I got to £109,527, and that is just adding on as many of the cost extras as I could. That doesn't include the slight brake upgrade, 30 extra PS, or technically those turbo wheels that they've added on as an extra, but the RS ones that are there are actually a free extra, so I put those ones on instead. So we take a quick look back at what the original standard GTS costs. We're coming in at £108,920. So we're a little bit over by adding all those parts onto an S, and we're not getting the extra power and things. So what I would say is if you're going to go for an S and you're going to add quite a few of those features onto your S and increase the price on it, you may as well jump up to the GTS because you're actually getting a slightly better deal on the car with a little bit more performance. Would I buy a GTS? Would I trade my C2 up to a GTS instead of a turbo? I think now that I've lived with the car a little bit longer since I did that last video, and I've now seen what comes with that GTS, a lot of those standard features that are included for the cost extra on it are not things that I wanted to include on my car, and it's not something that I'll pay extra for. So I'm purely looking at the upgrade in power. Looking at the upgrade in power, you'll know that I did a remapping video on the C2 to see how close I could get it to some of these higher performance cars, and it's actually cheaper and probably more cost effective if I just want a car that's got that type of power to do something like a remap. Would I do it at the minute? No, I wouldn't. I would wait till the warranty ran out, but it would be something I would seriously consider if I was going to keep the car long term as my own car after the finance agreement ends. So I think what's going to happen is I'm going to continue sharing my experiences in my C2. I'm going to be owning the car for a bit longer. I seem to be riding a wave where the car hasn't actually depreciated yet because of what's going on in the world. Porsche's increased the list prices on these cars, and also my car is difficult to get your hands on at the moment, so it's actually trading for what I paid for it new. So I'm going to be holding the car for a little bit longer. I'm not going to be doing any upgrades. Even though I wanted an upgrade, I can't get my hands on new models at the moment for a while. So I'll keep sharing my experiences of the car, and if you want to keep seeing those videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye.